and welcome back to PA Harness Week and our new digs. Look at these surroundings. I'm talking about, is this happening or what? We're talking about lots of, hear the jingle jangle, people are making money. So come on out here and grab some of your own, okay? It's time now to go to Jen Sherlock, our correspondent, and she's going to tell us about qualifiers. Now, whether it's harness qualifiers or what kind of men qualify to take her out, let's find out.
I'm guessing that it's harness qualifiers. I'm just going with that. Yeah.
Let's see.
Bring out the 7th qualifier.
It's the race before the race, and in harness racing, it's called qualifying. Each Saturday, the horses that perform here at Harrah's Chester or Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs must race under a certain time. It's an element of the sport that goes way back.
History of the harness horses, they're called standard bred, and that's because back then they went a certain length of distance, which was a mile, and because it was always the same distance, they always had a set time to which they had to qualify in order to race. Here it's 1:58 the pace and 2 minutes for the trot.
Qualifying day is almost just like racing day. The top drivers and trainers are here. Even the announcer James Witherite gets behind the mic.
And they're off. Arctic Warrior right to the front.
Qualifying gives horses more than just a race time. It's a chance for the horses to know the intricacies of the racetrack. And for the younger horses who aren't familiar with the track, it's a learning experience.
I brought 2 young horses down today, never been off the farm. They went out there, went about their business, done what they were supposed to. Now we'll bring them back again in a week or so. And then I look for them to throw in a real nice effort, and then they'll be ready to go. A lot of times is you bring young horses down, you bring, a horse down for the first start of his year. There's such a thing as what they call a 30-day roll, and they like to see a horse, what his form is up close, rather than, he raced last year, you drop him in the box. One trainer has him ready to fly in 52, and the next guy's got him ready to go in 59. And by qualifying these things, you get an idea of are they ready to go, where they're at, in their game.
In order to weed out the horses that won't be competitive enough for the bettors, we want to make sure that the horses are going on the track are good horses to bet on.
Most qualifying days, there are anywhere from 9 to 14 races. The big difference? There is no betting, but fans are welcome to watch from the grandstand. And for the serious handicapper, that may be just the edge you need to cash that big ticket. I'm Jennifer Sherlock for PA Harness Week.
Thank you, Jen. I was a little disappointed. Although it was very enlightening, she talked about harness versus qualifying, which is a major part of handicapping these races and very important. But she didn't get into what kind of guy she's looking for, right?
Yeah, this isn't Match.com.
This isn't eHarmony?
But it could be.
Very easily. It's time now to go back in time to our blast from the past. This is going to be a good one. 2001 was highlighted by a tremendous filly. Her name was Bunny Lake. She won 19 of 21 starts, and she was the favorite, of course, in the 2001 Breeders' Crown.
Three-year-old facing fillies, and they're off. And Bunny Lake came rushing right off the wings of the gate. Cathedra.com is looking to dive in from second. Marbell Hall will be relegated to third. Crossing over the far outside is Sand Slickerish going on. Marbell Hall is on a break, and dropping in neatly from fourth will be Northern Accord to get a good early seat. Raging Heart is along the inside. Now fifth into the first turn. Castanet Hall is sixth. Marbell Hall landed back down pacing ahead of Pleasure Chest, Gothic Lady, and Turn It On was 10th and last away. Moving up on the outside to challenge Bunny Lake and trying to cross over is Sand Slickerish. Sand Slickerish has overtaken Bunny Lake, and Miller seizes the moment. He's moving to the outside with Cathedra.com. Lots of drama early in this one. The quarter was in 26 seconds flat. There goes Cathedra.com over Sand Slickerish. Bunny Lake and John Stark Jr. tips her right back out. 2 more lengths to Northern Accord, racing along in fourth. Raging Heart is fifth. Castanet Hall from sixth. After the early break, Marbell Hall landed back down pacing from seventh ahead of Pleasure Chest. Then along the inside to Turn It On and Gothic Lady trailed. 54-4 was the half. Bunny Lake again up front. Cathedra.com is second. Sand Slickerish third. Here comes Raging Heart to the outside. Northern Accord stayed in from fifth. Castanet Hall sixth on the outside. There goes Marbell Hall, seventh on the outside. Just ahead of Turn It On, Pleasure Chest, and Gothic Lady. Bunny Lake turns for home. She passed 3 quarters in 1:24-1. It was a more moderate third quarter of 29-2. Bunny Lake, second time on the lead. She's in the lane now in her Breeders' Crown 3-year-old pacing fillies final, and it appears there's no bottom to this lake. Bunny Lake is going under some urging. Cathedra.com comes to the outside, but Bunny Lake has done it again. She's deeper than an ocean. Bunny Lake wins the Breeders' Crown.
Wow. She's some filly or what?
Oh, unbelievable. You know, she was Horse of the Year in 2001. Right. That is the first time that a filly, a pacing filly, has been Horse of the Year in 20 years.
In a man's domain. What's that all about? That's just a mistake.
Girl power.
Girl power. Okay, it's time now to go to the coach, Evie Helm. Now, this year it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to hold Evie's feet to the fire. We're going to see how he does. We started him out with a mythical bankroll of $1,000, a gee whiz, and last week he invested $100, $50 to win, $50 to place on a Tokyo in one of the legs of the George Morton Levy Memorial Pace at Yonkers. How did he do? Let's join Evie in the paddock now and find out.
Good morning and welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm the coach, Evie Helm, and I got my moniker, the coach, because I've been coaching boys high school lacrosse for over 30 years. So I'd be remiss to not give a quick shout out to Austin Count and the Springfield Cougars and Andrew O'Connell and the Malvern Prep Friars for huge upset wins in the world of high school lacrosse yesterday. So I'm smiling as we talk about lacrosse, but I'm frowning a little bit with our pick, Atokia, last week up at Yonkers. Not because he came just second place to 10-to-1 legal litigator, but because he didn't try. In the words, and I'm paraphrasing, of his trainer, Ron Burke, the horse is lazy, and even with his huge talent, he only tries half the time. So that half the time cost us $40, so our $50 to win in place dropped our bankroll down to $960. This week we got two picks for you, both of them tonight. First, we go up to Vernon Downs to the Miracle Mile Stakes and Sheer Brilliance. She's running in the 6th race. The number 5 horse had a huge qualifier here at Chester. I'm putting $20 to win and $20 to place on Sheer Brilliance. Our other selection for this evening, we'll go back up and try those Levy Stakes again. Jeremy's Successor had a huge breakthrough last week. He gets an inside draw this week again. I like him. Let's go $10 to win and $10 to place on Jeremy's Successor, and we'll look forward to next week for the $200,000 finals to get the winner of the whole shooting match. Now let's go to Heather in the casino for this week's news.
Thanks, Evie. According to an article in Horseman and Fair World magazine, 4 out of 5 expert trainers predict that All Speed Hanover is going to be the fastest 3-year-old in the country this year. Now, you might remember that All Speed Hanover was the one that beat the champion, Sports Writer, in the Breeders' Crown. So, All Speed Hanover, Sports Writer, I don't know. It's going to be a duel between these two in 2010. Folks, this is a story that's still developing. Also, enough talk is going to Finland. Yes, the millionaire trotter plans on heading overseas this week. First, he'll go to Amsterdam. Then he's going to ship to Paris, where he will train for a couple days. And then he jet sets over to Finland, where I assume he will not only compete, but win a few events. Stick around. We've got so much action from around the country in the bike. Don't go away.
And they're off. Aragon heads out for the lead.
Heather, we're on in 3. Steve, we're on in 3.
They're lining up at the gate. This looks like an exciting matchup. And they're off. The fillies taking the lead.
Not again.
It's a close finish, folks, but the fillies take the cup. Catch the action on PA Harness Week with Heather Moffitt and Steve Ross every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. They're characters.
Amateurs.
It's your big night out, and you deserve a little more. That's why you'll love the Downs off-track wagering. It's more than a sports bar. It's extra fun, because you can watch, wager, and win on the hottest horse racing action from Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs and across the country. Downs off-track wagering, Allentown, Carbondale, East Stroudsburg, Hazleton. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.